Thank you for having me. I'm very
Great.
excited to give this presentation today and to be part of the AI literacy series.
Fantastic. Welcome, Joanna, once again. Just a brief introduction to the session and also to Joanna, who has joined us today as our speaker. Uh, we sort of looked at quite a few things in our last session, which was a couple of weeks ago, and the session was titled "Critical and Ethical Use of AI," which lasted an hour. The idea was to explore the evolving role of AI in academia, focusing on responsible use of AI tools. Uh, may I just quickly request the students to mute your microphones if you have just joined us, because we can't have multiple conversations running at the same time. Okay, I think that's okay. So today's session is introducing AI tools for research, primarily looking at the advantages and also limitations, which are equally important. Both of them are equally important. So ethical use of AI, artificial intelligence, as I pointed out in our last session, is critical for the students to ensure academic integrity. And it's important that your work genuinely reflects your understanding and own learning. Now, I also did mention that we had a few cases last year where some students were reported for academic misconduct, essentially for unethical use, such as plagiarism or misrepresentation of originality. That led to some sort of consequences, which is not ideal. But it's more importantly, as an institution, it's important to understand that there is a culture of trust, and we don't want to lose trust in each other. Um, so if you do use AI responsibly, it also helps you to develop your critical thinking skills, preparing your human skills for future workplace, and also overall promoting fairness, accuracy, and credibility in your work, really. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our speaker today, Joanna Mehta. Joanna, to be honest, I'm struggling to find your introduction. Did you send it to me here or on the other
On your
channels?
email.
Or my email? Okay,
On
so
your
I'm just
email.
gonna switch to it. Switch to the email. Joanna has got a fantastic background. I can't wait to hear from you today. So at the moment, so at Middlesex, Joanna is our subject dedicated librarian. She's passionate about teaching information literacy, research skills, and in general business management subjects across the board. So leadership, supply chain, strategy, innovation, and finance as well, I understand. Joanna has a BSc in business management, a master of research in social research, and also a postgraduate certificate in higher education. She's a chartered librarian and a certified business and management educator. Um, at the moment, she's conducting research into students' academic literacies, especially the use of AI tools in their studies. How fitting the last bit of introduction is to this particular session. Joanna, so over to you. Joanna, you can share your screen
Thank you
if
so
you'd like.
much.
Yeah, let's start when you're ready.
Yes, thank you so much for this introduction and for inviting me to deliver this session today. I will share my screen now. And before we start, I will ask the students if you have a laptop or if you're following us from your phones, to try to mimic what I'm doing, to replicate what I'm doing, to follow what I'm doing first, and then to try to do it yourselves on the machine, on your machines, on your laptops, or on your phones. Introducing AI tools to support for library research. This is the topic of our session today, advantages and limitations. We're going to look at generative AI uses in an academic context. Because as I always tell my students, once you step in and you get enrolled at Middlesex University, And once you start working as part of our community, you are no longer general members of the public. You are general members of the public, but while you are students of Middlesex also, you work in an academic context. So certain academic rules apply to you. And you cannot use any information or data source, including AI, as if you were general members of the public. And I'm going to explain today a lot about why this is. We're going to look at advantages and limitations of AI tools. I'm going to give you lots of examples. So I'm going to run a lot of searches and I'm going to build a lot of prompts for us to see together how AI tools can be used safely and responsibly. I'm also giving a little introduction to our library guide on generative AI, about which my colleague Jorge is going to talk about in more detail. Okay, let me go to the next slide. We have introduced AI in our environment, so we need to ensure responsible and ethical use of AI. We are all AI learners. We are not AI natives. This has been happening for the past 2-3 years, more and more, but even before that. And we need to always remember that these large language models are experimental. They may be incorrect. The quality of the output may vary. They are not checked by a human, and you need to check the validity of the output. I've put all of this in my slide in italics because these are not my words. These are disclaimers by the AI tools themselves. So all of these AI platforms themselves recognize and admit the fact that the AI output may be incorrect and it has its limitations. There is a risk of over-reliance on AI in teaching and learning. So in the university academic context, we always need to consider academic integrity and to try to foster critical thinking. Critical thinking is one of the most important skills that you need to transfer from university life to employability. So to your life as a graduate of Middlesex University and into the world of work. I'm going to stop sharing slides now because I want to give you a few examples. Rick has mentioned when we started today that the university has seen some improper use of AI. I'm just going to close this. And we've not only seen it here, but it has been widely reported by other universities as well in our meetings, in our conferences, in our trade publications and journals, but it's also been picked up by the mainstream media. This is an article from The Guardian, which reveals, it's from this summer, so the summer of 2025, reveals that thousands of UK university students are caught cheating using AI. And then also in the BBC, I massively regret using AI to cheat at uni. So this is the report about a student and other cases where students have been using AI unethically. And part of why we are organizing this session is to show you how you can use AI to be more productive. It can save you some time, it can support your research, and it can support your learning. And we're going to go into all of that, so I'm going to give you a lot of examples. Also, I don't know if you've seen this recently. This is news from MSN. AI has found its way into a newspaper. So a journalist has copied and pasted AI output in an article, and the article made its way into print. So the article says, if you want, I can also create an even snappier front page style version with punchy online stats and a bold infographic ready layout, perfect for maximum reader impact. Do you want me to do that next? So this journalist has actually copied and pasted AI output, and this has been This has appeared in the print. The newspaper later on has published an apology and an acknowledgement of all of this. The report published today was originally edited using AI, which is in violation of our policy. The matter is being investigated and the violation of AI policy is regretted. We have firm rules and regulations in university about the way that you are supposed to be approaching your learning and also your assignment writing. And I think what I'm going to show you today is going to help with that. Do you have any questions so far? Does this make sense? Questions? No questions.
Perhaps we could keep the Q&A in the end. Let
In
them
the end,
absorb
okay.
a few
All right.
more content. Yeah.
All right, perfect. A few considerations. You will not find work assignments already done at the level required for academic use, especially for postgraduate level, anywhere on the internet or using AI tools. This is the whole point of us giving you assignments, to do this work yourselves. You will not find information in one place or in one go, anywhere. A huge part of writing assignments is about the research process. Where do you get the information, ideas, data? And it is a lengthy process. It is time consuming. We understand this, but it cannot be replaced by any tool. First of all, you need to follow the guidance on permitted use of AI from lecturers, tutors, module leaders, in assignment briefs, in module handbooks. And it can vary from module to module. It can say AI is not to be used, or AI can be used in an assistive or supporting role, and it will give you details for what tasks you can use AI. And AI has an integral role. So the assignment explicitly asks you to use AI. So it incorporates the use of AI. But as of now, very few assignments in business schools fully integrate or enable the use of AI. Because as I said, one of the reasons being that AI tools are experimental, they are just work in progress, you can say, and they are not totally reliable. We can learn to use them. We can learn how they work, and we can see right now how they will evolve in the future to be more reliable. But as of now, I don't think that any of your assignments are allowing you to fully integrate AI into your work. Let me go to the next slide. And then, actually, let me go and show you a few things. The university has purchased an AI tool for you that you can use, but only as an aid to your learning or as a support to your learning. And you can find this, you can just go on Google, and I'm allowing you to go on Google just to search Copilot, because this is the tool. So you can do this and search Copilot. Or you can go to one of our guides and you'll find this guide that has the link to Copilot in my MDX. I'm waiting for my MDX to open. I've turned the camera off for a bit in case it helps with opening things more easily. So this is my MDX. And if you go to library, you can go to quick links and then to my subject library guides. And then you have user guides. And in user guides, you have here generative AI. I'm going to put this link into the chat so that you can use it. And I'm also going to put the link to Copilot in the chat. So this is the link to the library guide on AI. And you have here generative AI tools to get you started, and then Copilot. And please log in with the university, so Middlesex University email account into Copilot. Let me go to the chat again and to also paste this link. So this is the link to Copilot. Please log in as a Middlesex University student. So once you open it, I'm just going to demonstrate really quickly. Let me tell you first why the university has chosen this AI tool and not another AI tool. It's because if you're using Copilot through your Middlesex login credentials, this means that you are more protected as compared to using Copilot outside the university environment or using any other AI tool. This is because this version of Copilot does not train on your data. So anything that you ask Copilot to do, any information that you input into these prompts will not be used externally by Copilot. It stays within the environment of Copilot and Middlesex University. So you are more safe, you are more secure when you are using Copilot as a student. So you will see here a sign in on the left-hand side. You will see a user, a sign in icon, and you can sign in as a university student. It's already logged me on because I'm logged on. I've opened it twice to show you a few things in it. So I opened it earlier prior to the session start. Okay, and let me show you first what happens if you try to use it for assignments. So if you try to use any AI tool for assignments. I've just asked it this morning, I need information on the life cycle of the soft drinks industry suitable for university assignment. So I've done this really quickly. So I've done this in Copilot in the tool that university is providing for you. And it's given me an answer. So I've given it a bit of context that I am a university student and the task for which I'm using it. So it's given me an answer. But really quickly, if I want to go to the sources of the answer, a lot of the citations will come from this, samasters.com, and then Mode or Intelligence, and then ChangeLab Quizlet, GlobeNewsWire.com. But the first one, the most citations come from this Samasters, and I was just curious, and I clicked on this website, Samasters, on the link. What is the product life cycle of Coca-Cola? It has a lot of information, but this Samasters is a website that actually teaches you to make cocktails. So it's a website that talks about all sorts of ingredients that can go into cocktails. And can you see here on the right-hand side how to make, I don't know, smoothies and how to make cocktails and how to make different drinks. Even if I weren't a librarian, even if I weren't in a university, I would say that information coming from semesters should not be used in an assignment, should not even be used to understand the business topic. And I hope this makes sense. Also, I've trying to show you how AI tools can get things very wrong, especially for assignments. I've used another AI tool. I need information on the life cycle of the soft drinks industry suitable for a university assignment. So again, I've done this. And then I have 10 sources, out of which Samasters is again the first. So Summerstars, I believe at the moment, is promoting their website, and this website appears in a lot of searches. But the second source is Study Corgi. And so Study Corgi is an essay mill. It's a company that actually sells assignments. So it produces assignments that students can buy. And this is highly illegal, and it breaks academic conduct rules, and you absolutely must not do this. But can you see that this answer provided by this AI tool relies on this Study Corgi? We've seen this. This is not the first time that we've seen this. Even before the emergence of AI tools, even on a simple Google search for any university topic, any university assignment topic, for example, the strategic leadership of Coca-Cola, first, in the first page of results from a simple free Google search, you will have Essay Town, which is another essay mill. So this is another company that can do your coursework for you, basically. Please do not use these tools. Please do not run simple free internet searches on Google or use copy and paste and use anything from an AI tool into your assignment. Sorry. Because you can see really quickly what sources it relies on. The library sources, the ones that we always ask you and advise you and guide you to use in your assignments are, for example, these from the Library Business Core Resources Guide. And these sources are behind a paywall. These sources are not only checked by the university to be reliable, to be high quality, to be current, to be used within the industry worldwide. They are also behind a paywall. So they are not available on the internet freely for Google or for any AI tool to pick them up and to use to give you answers and to give you output that you can use in assignments. These sources that are provided by academic libraries are high quality sources, are academic sources, or sources of academic credibility. Please, can you mute the student who has the, okay,
नहीं
microphone?
तो अरे तो 3 नोटिफिकेशन ट्राई किया है। तुम तो दिखाई दे रहे हो। हाँ
Let's see if
तुम्हारा
I
जा रहा
can mute the student myself.
है। बस बस अब उसको ऑफ कर दो उसको बर्दाश्त से।
Mute. Okay. I'm sorry I had to do this, but we need to do it sometimes. I was saying that the resources offered by libraries are academic or of academic credibility. They are checked by us and they are behind paywalls. So they will not be used by the AI tools or by Google to give you access to full text, to full text of these resources. That being said, let's go and work with Copilot, and I'm going to move from the limitations to the advantages and how AI tools can help you to start your research process and also to be a bit more productive. I've done a couple of things today. I tried to think of how students approach. Sorry, I need to go to the right tool, to the right link. I've tried to think of how students approach assignments. And one of the most prevalent questions that we get, inquiries that we get into the library is, how do I pick my keywords? Because unless you use the right keywords, for example, into a library catalog or into a database search, you might not find the resources that you need. And I've done this. I've asked Copilot, and you can do the same now. You can think of an assignment that you have to do. And I've asked Copilot to help me to identify 10 keywords. So please, can you help me to identify 10 keywords or search terms that I can use to research for information and data for university assignment at the postgraduate level on strategic change, which is I've misspelled, I'm sorry, change leadership. One of the sections of the assignment is asking me to identify the most important leadership trait theories. And I've also said, please provide the answer in bullet points. So with using Copilot and with building a good prompt, you need to be very specific. So you need to give it information about your role, your task, and how you would like the output to be structured. So I think this is quite a good prompt. And with this simple task, Copilot's done, I think, quite well. So it's given me in some keywords: strategic change leadership, leadership trait theories. They are not theories, but they are concepts rather than theories. And it's also asking if I need more help. So it's asking a follow-up question. Would you like me to also suggest academic databases and journals where these keywords would be most effective? Or to help you to build Boolean search strings. These are search strings for advanced searching. So I think for this simple task, just to do 10 strong keywords, I think it's done pretty well. Going back to my conversations, all conversations, I've gone a step up now. And I've tried to build some prompts that are different and not for one assignment only. So I've tried to look at assignments that university students at the postgraduate levels need to do. So to help me to understand the UK customers' behavior when purchasing clothes, please can you summarize in 200 words the attached pages from a report? And again, I've said this is for university assignment. Please only use the attached text as your source and do not look online for other sources. The reason I've done this, and I would advise you to do it in Copilot this way, is because you are actually limiting Copilot to a source that is quite well known to you. So this source that I've attached here comes from, there are some pages from a database report. So if I open this source here, this is a part from, once it opens, this is a part of a reliable database report on clothing retailing. And I have asked Copilot to work with this source and not go all over the internet to look for sources. So this is an IBIS World report on clothing retailing in the UK. I downloaded a part of this report from the IBIS World database. And I built the prompt by attaching 7 pages or 5 pages of this report. And Copilot performed the summary based only on the attached report. You need to, please do not copy paste from this into assignments, and you need to check whether it's got the right figures and it's got the right percentages. It can also extract the key statistics and trends into a bullet point list. This is very good as a study note, as a learning note, as preparation for assignments as well. So this is how you can use it to summarize a reliable source. Going back here to all conversations, you can synthesize 2 sources. And again, I've downloaded these 2 sources from 2 databases. Can you synthesize the attached 2 sources to help me understand the 5 most important trends in consumer behavior when purchasing clothes online? So I've added a bit more context. I've added a bit more information about actually where I want to go with the assignment. So I'm actually looking at purchasing trends online, so the online consumer behavior. I left this 5 pages report and I've done something else. I downloaded from another database a section of a report. And I've asked Copilot to use the attached sources and no other online content, and to write the output in simple headings and bullet points, again, to help me to understand it for the purposes of writing an assignment. So this is from Mintel. This is a clothing retailing report for the UK. It's just a few pages, so it's just the intro, just a section of the report, not the whole report. I've also selected from the report the sections that talked about technology and online shopping as well. So I've actually used for the prompt something that is relevant to what it is that I'm trying to get out of the prompt. So what you put in any search, even on Google, even in a database search, what you put in, how you're asking the question determines the answer that you're going to get, the results that you're going to get. Do you know what we always say, garbage in, garbage out? If you feed it low quality information here and low quality sources here or nothing, and you're just allowing it to go and find sources anywhere, you will get a low quality output, a low quality results in your searches. So if you can try this as well, so work alongside me in this session, and you can try to build a prompt. You can, I'm sure you've downloaded reports from databases or articles, and you can try to build a prompt like this to synthesize or to summarize or to even find keywords, as I showed before. Okay. Is everything clear so far? About keywords, about summarizing and synthesizing?
Very good examples, Joanna.
Okay.
Just wanted to note
All
that.
right. Thank you. Okay. Let's go one level up. For university postgraduate level strategy assignment, what are the most important technological, social, and environmental factors that might impact the operations of Coca-Cola in the UK? So first of all, this shows me that you've understood what it is that you need to write in the assignment, and you've broken down into the 3 most important factors that impact the operations of Coca-Cola. So you need to know a bit about the context, you need to know a bit about the topic, quite a lot about the topic, I would say, before you start using AI and before you start building and engineering these prompts. I've again downloaded something from a database. So I've downloaded the pestle analysis report from Passport. Again, I've asked it to use only the report attached and no other source from online. I've asked it to send me a bullet point list of 2 types of impact for each of these factors. So 2 types of impact for technological, social, and environmental, with examples of how they might impact Coca-Cola in the UK. Also, if I'm looking at this prompt now, I can improve it and I can add, for example, the link to the Coca-Cola's annual report, the latest annual report, any section in the annual report that talks about the strategy. And you can ask Copilot to synthesize the information and to include information from the official website annual report of Coca-Cola. This is a pestle analysis. For the UK, this looks at the UK as an external environment to businesses, to all sorts of businesses and all sorts of industries. It is generic rather than specific, but it is a good report. It is quite a recent report. I have chosen parts of this report that are about technology, society, and the environment. And let's see what we have. A bullet point list, 2 types of impact for each factor, based only on the attached report, with examples relevant to the UK operations of Coca-Cola. It's done good and bad. It's given examples of other organizations. It's quite generic, and you will find when you start working with AI, that it tends to give very generic output, not very specific and very monotonous, very verbose. It will give you, if you don't keep it in rein, it will go on and on and on, and it will give you very long output. So this is why I've actually limited it. So I've said I wanted only a bullet point list. It has good information about the factors, but not so good information about Coca-Cola. And it doesn't have any source. We don't know where it sourced its information about Coca-Cola. But if, let's say, for example, we go on the Coca-Cola website. We search through Google. Let's go here. And if we find the download the report, and if we try to feed the report here, so to use the report to build a better prompt, I think we will get a better output. So this is how you do, you read it, and it is an iteration. It is, you go back and forth. We ask it, you ask it another question. You can look here and see what it suggests that you do next. But you can also write a better prompt by using more sources and by being more specific about what you are actually trying to achieve. I have a few more. This is very good for students who are doing a dissertation. Please, can you use the attached article section only and suggest 5 possible research avenues for a project? Exploring cultural sensitivity in human resource management practices in hospitals in the UK. So again, if you want to look at how you can take a research topic forward, AI is quite good at suggesting avenues, ways in which you can expand on an existing research. What I've put here in Copilot is a systematic literature review that I got from a library database. So I downloaded a very good systematic literature, very good, very recent systematic literature review from EBSCO as National Culture Impact Management Control Systems, a systematic literature review. And based on the article, AI has suggested 5 possible research avenues for HRM practices in UK hospitals. It's given me a focus, a rationale. I've also asked it to suggest these avenues for secondary research. So to look at other existing studies that were done on NHS and hospitals. And it's also suggesting secondary data sources, which I think for students who are not very experienced in doing postgraduate level research and dissertations, I think this is a very good place to start. This is not the whole answer. It gives you only a short idea about where you might go and how you can take this topic further. I said at the beginning that I research how students are using AI. And I've worked with AI myself with various AI tools and using various topics, not only from student assignments. I've gone from a simple to a complex task. And if you start like this, write a university essay on cultural sensitivity in the multinational workplace, and you ask it to include references to peer-reviewed journals. This is copied from Copilot. And if you're trying again to look at the sources, this is not peer-reviewed. This is just an article that appeared in a journal somewhere, but the journal is not peer-reviewed, so the quality of the information in the article is a bit uncertain. We cannot say for sure that the quality of this information is high enough to be used in an academic context. Let me show you another thing that I have here in this document. I think it's the next one. Yes. A professional approach and behavior required for internal auditors in critical incident management scenarios. And I think I did quite a good prompt. It's given me a good overview, but when I ask it to rewrite this as a report without using the bullet points, it gives me this, which has no citations, no references at all.
फटाफट मैंने कपड़े वगैरह चेंज किए, मैं गया तो कह रहे ऊपर सुपरवाइजर आ गया।
I think I need to mute someone else.
I just did. Just a reminder to the students, please stay muted till the Q&A opens up afterwards.
Yes.
Sumit Kumar, sorry, I have to name and shame at this stage because, yeah, you need to mute yourself. Joanna, sorry about this.
Yeah, no, it's all right. So
Please
I was just saying that AI can get things wrong. Whereas in the first prompt, it gave me quite a good answer, actually. And if you look at this, these are all from reliable sources, such as the global internal audit standards and codes of ethics and professional ethics for auditors, Institute of Internal Auditors. When I've asked it just to rearrange it as a report, it lost the references altogether. So please make sure that you check. Please make sure that you go back. And please make sure that you don't use these output for assignments. You don't copy and paste from it exactly as it is in assignments. You don't copy and paste from it at all. You just use it to prepare for assignments, to make some notes, to understand the topic. As I said, to generate some keywords, to summarize, synthesize, because it can save you a lot of time. I'm just going to go and quickly show you a few more things. It's very good at creating mind maps and being almost like a research buddy, being a good soundboard. Can you help me to create a mind map of topics related to current service improvements of TfL? This is for a postgraduate student who was looking into TfL. Regarding the mobility of wheelchair passengers. And together with the student, we've put this link here, which is a link from the official TfL website. And again, to create a list of topics that would be worth researching as part of a degree project, can you also create a visual mind map of these topics that I could explore? And it's done really well using the information from this link here. So from the government TfL Gov UK link. It's done this, which is a very simple mind map. But I've worked with it a bit more. Let me go back to my folder. And if you, for example, use another link, a bit more information that you take from the TfL, it can do this. So accessibility infrastructure, design enhancements, how we plan our journeys, how to use technologies, funding, data-driven planning. So you have a lot of information here presented in a visual mind map that can help students. It can help students like yourselves, such as yourselves, to understand the topic better and to see how you can go about researching the topic. Let me go back to my slides now. Let me see if I've got anything worth showing, because I'm quite aware that we're going towards the end of this session. I've done quite a lot around cultural sensitivity, and I've improved prompts. I'm happy to share all of this with you at the end of the session. I think what we've seen so far is that AI can improve your productivity. It can save you time. It can help you to find good keywords, to summarize and synthesize, to understand the topic, to get started with research, to find possible research avenues. So it can be, you can do visual mind mapping, brain writing as well. But you need complex and specific prompts for university level work. As I said at the beginning, you are no longer members of the general public who can use, for example, I don't know, Wikipedia, and you can ask ChatGPT something about a topic, and it will be good enough for a general member of the public who wants to look into, for example, multinational workplaces. But you are postgraduate students. You need to work with AI to do multiple iterations. So you go back and forth to refine the outputs. And also, in order to check the quality of the output, you need to have expert knowledge of the topic. So you need to be knowledgeable about the topic in order to also create a good prompt and to check the validity. How do we evaluate the quality of an output? Does it address my query? Does it support the answer? Are there any signs of hallucination? And then again, you have to know things about the topic to see if it hallucinates or not. Does the answer consider multiple perspectives? This is very important in academic contexts. Does the answer acknowledge uncertainty, or does it produce misleading content? But in order for you to be able to do this, you need to know, as I said, to read around the topic and to know more about the topic. All of these language learning models are experimental. Quality sources are behind paywalls. AI might generate incorrect information, imaginary, fictional references, so a lot of fake references. Check the AI output, use it in addition and in conjunction with other reliable resources. I've shown you how I've uploaded reliable reports into it. Do not compromise your learning and the quality of your work. Do not use it exclusively for assignments. And in the next session, my colleague Jorge is going to show you the generative AI library guide, and we're going to look at the embedded AI tools into library resources. So please make sure that you join next time and you see my colleague Jorge, who is going to help you to explore AI tools that are embedded in reliable sources, such as the Financial Times, such as EBSCO, such as the library catalog. I'm going to stop sharing. I hope it was useful. Do you have any questions? Would you like me to answer anything, to show you anything again?
Fantastic. Joanna, may I just quickly thank you for this deeply insightful session. Also, I would like to go back to what you said at the very beginning, that none of us are experts here. But
yes,
a session like this where you're providing a step-by-step guide with highly relevant and contextual examples is extremely useful for the student. So I don't think any of the participants who we have today, whether we've got executive MBA students or general MBA students, have had this level of support before. So it's coming from an expert, and I really sort of wanted to appreciate your session once again.
Oh, thank you so much. I can share what I've done. So I've put my notes here. So I've done, apart from the PowerPoint slides, I've done material for the class, so it's a document. And I've shared a lot of the screenshots of everything that I showed you today. So you have selecting keywords, you have examples of how AI can get it very wrong.
Fantastic.
And then you have all of my prompts with the examples of everything that I have uploaded alongside the prompt.
Yeah.
And I can send them to you, Rick, and you can share them with the students if you think it's
absolutely
useful.
that would be really useful.
Yeah.
A couple of things also to mention at this point, given the range and depth of examples that you've used today. Again, I particularly want to highlight the step-by-step guidance, because all of us have got access to some of the tools that you mentioned today, including, Microsoft Copilot and so on and so forth, but really do not have a deeper understanding of how to leverage it. It's not meant to be a shortcut, but particularly the slide that you had, I think the one before, talks about evaluating the quality of work.
Yes. Yeah.
I would encourage all the students, once you have the slides afterwards, this is an essential slide to look at afterwards, because if you are using AI, what are the things that you still need to do after you have took its help. A deep research with AI, Joanna, I believe, it requires a serious consideration of the prompts, but also staying focused. I mean, I'm saying this because you've got a number of students doing the capstone project at the moment. And when you go out to collect data out there in the field, having conversations with humans, it is quite easy to get derailed because people want to talk about things that they want to talk about and they like. Similarly, AI, as we all know by now, it's quite conversational. So unless you make the prompt super specific and use navigation questions and grand question to strike that balance, that you're not getting derailed from the core purpose of using AI for whatsoever purpose it might be, you might actually lose the plot eventually, which is again a very easy danger to sign up for. So I would encourage everybody to look at the slides again, but also the examples, how the prompts have been used to generate what in particular, because that's where the purpose of your research comes out. What is it that you're trying to achieve? I'll open the floor to the students essentially for Q&A. But one pointer at this stage, I did email to all the MBS students, I think this was last week, a link to our AI use and guidelines. So it's on our library's website. Joanna also kindly shared that earlier. Please make sure that you refer to it as you start working on your assignment, because the last thing we want to see is a high quality research that you produced, losing grades for not citing the sources that you've used, not declaring the use of AI, not declaring that you have made an irresponsible use of AI. That's what we are after here. So a session like this really clarifies a lot of doubts and also wrong understanding of AI. So may I just quickly open the floor to questions? You might want to drop your questions in the chat or simply just unmute yourself and ask Joanna directly.
Yes, please. As we logged in with my MDX, is it asking to continue as guest or personal? So yes, you can continue as a guest. Don't use your personal email.
Yeah.
It's better to use the MDX ID to log in.
It's a bit disappointing because I did mention repeatedly to everybody, please only use your Middlesex ID to log in. Also, this is let's take this conversation outside this space. We are looking at AI, not technical issues.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody?
Any other
got any
questions?
questions?
Until you think of questions, can I thank Rick for pointing out what I also covered a bit at the beginning of the session, critical thinking. So please do not, anything that you read as a university student in an academic context, don't just take it at face value. Don't take it at face value. Always consider
केबल वाला मैं तो केबल लगा लूंगा ना। अरे उसको सारे भाई उसको किससे चार्ज कर रहा है?
where
अरे
it
कर ले
comes from.
ले जा।
Let me just unmute the student.
Sorry, I've
Okay,
removed
sorry.
the student from the
Yeah,
meeting because
sorry.
that is
Yes,
not
so
particularly professional.
yes,
Yeah,
no,
that's all
it's
good.
all right.
Joanna, sorry. Yeah,
It's all
you're
right. I
saying
was saying
the critical thinking.
saying critical thinking skills. Do not believe anything at face value. Ask yourselves, what is the expertise of the author? What sources does the author use? What sources does the output use? And are these sources suitable for me to use in an academic context? Are they academic or of academic credibility? You can find lots of examples of what is of academic credibility in our library guides. So if you just want to go on any page of any guidance offered by the library, so here in my subject, and if you go here to business, you will find examples of what are credible sources of information, data, and ideas. So for example, if you go here, journals and news, you have a lot of examples of what is a credible source. So do not just use any information out of anywhere for university, especially for postgraduate study. Sorry, I'm talking. Students should be talking.
No, that was really insightful because these are operational thinking, practically. Parth,
Yes.
sure, please unmute yourself. Ask away. Of course, this session is after all for you, the student.
Yes.
So please do participate as much as realistically possible.
Yes, please
Yeah.
ask.
So
Parth, hi.
the session was actually very informative and helped me a lot right now. But then I still have a question about getting to the source on the points. Like we have some industries and market companies based databases, right? So if you choose one, open it, and then put that same file or maybe that report to the AI tool, asking a specific context about that report. It also usually shows some generic answers to it. So we can't totally rely on the AI generated to a database or knowledge maybe. So it's again a risky thing to interpret the same knowledge and get it done because it's a general information what AI has. Even if you choose the same file and then ask about the same context, to the specific context. So
Yes.
So I wanted to ask is can we rely on the information now? We get it back.
No, you cannot rely completely. So use it not as a source of information, but as a tool to navigate. And Jorge next for the next session is going to show you how to navigate big databases such as the Financial Times and such as EBSCO using the power of AI tools that are embedded in those platforms. You can use it as an aid and as a support for assignments. And
Yeah, but
in
then
general,
also,
yes.
Yeah, but then it also misguides as to the different contexts. That's what I wanted to ask you about.
Do not copy paste anything
No,
from an AI tool into the assignment.
No,
Use the
I'm not
AI to
asking about that.
understand. Yes, yeah.
No, yeah, I just wanted to know that if this happens, like we can't copy paste it, right? So that anyways we are not doing that. But then also the points or summary what we get, it's also a generalized and generic content. So just
Not always, no. So if, for example, you use the AI tool in the way that I've used it here.
Even if we use a specific context or something like a keywords to be highlighted in the same topic, it also gives a generic information about.
Not always. So if you go here and I will share all of the screenshots of everything that I've shown today. So if you go here, for example,
okay,
and if you attach, so you can use this plus here in Copilot and attach.
Yeah, we attach a file and then we ask
a database
about
report.
The same file.
This is
Parth, just 1 second. Let Joanna finish, and then you can ask your questions.
Sorry.
You
Yes.
can't have two separate conversations at the same time. Go ahead, Joanna,
Yes.
please.
So if you use these reliable sources to work with the AI tools, there is a better chance that the output will not be as generic and as it would be if you used only a free prompt on ChatGPT. So if you use the plus here, and if you use, as I've shown you, even links and attachments, you have a better chance of the output not to be generic. It will still be generic, but not as generic as they usually are.
Just to navigate the topic, that's it.
Yes, to navigate it, to break it down, to synthesize many sources. So you can add here even 5 reports, 4 reports, parts of reports, and links, and it will give you a synthesis. It will help you with your analysis as well. So you can ask it, for example, as I did, not to do everything, to do only technological, social, and environmental. So it is an iteration. You go back and forth and you can ask another question. And based on the output, you can refine the output more. So I didn't have time today, but for example, for this output, you can use information from the Coca-Cola website. So if we were to download the report and to use from the report only the parts of the report that talk about strategy, you can use this information here to create a better output.
Okay. Even I use this Microsoft 365 Copilot with me for my researches right now. But then even after like adding the same file, we get some different reports, like the outputs.
Yes, this is one of the limitations of the tool, and I'm sure my colleague who presented before, so my colleague from the academic skills team has pointed this out. You cannot completely rely on AI. The quality will vary because they are still learning models, they are still experimental, it is still work in progress. Perhaps in a year's time, we will have a different conversation, but for now, you cannot rely on it completely. And this is why we ask you to use a variety of sources in your assignments. We ask you to use database reports, articles, news sources, databases, I've said, your official company website, information from the government, from trade associations and bodies. So reliable information and a variety of information.
Thank you.
Okay, any other question?
It was really helpful.
Thank you, Joanna. I think the idea is we got 2-3 different options, but in this particular context, if we do give general prompts, generic ideas or keywords or topics, that's what you get back, essentially. But if you feed AI with the report, pointing out to very specific sections, asking it to attend to specific concerns that you're sharing with it, or a question that you're asking, such will be the response, essentially. So it is still not accurate. Therefore,
it will still not be perfect.
No,
Nothing
ever will be, and no one is going to score 100% anyway, regardless what sources they use. But it would be useful to go back to that particular slide that I referred to, where you were talking about evaluating the work that AI produced.
Yes.
That would be particularly useful, because that's after AI does the job that it has been tasked with, there's still a lot of work for the author to do. And that's where this particular slide is going to act as a helpful guide. So I'm conscious of the time is 2:04.
Yes.
Some students have got lessons, different rooms on campus, Fenella Williams and College Building. Do go and attend your lessons. Don't miss your classes. This was an immensely helpful session, Joanna. Once again, great examples, and also thanks for all the step-by-step guidance, the support, and the time today for sharing your expertise and experience in this particular area. So I'm going to end this call for now. We'll return next week with the final episode, part 3, where Jorge from the library would also join us. Jorge is one of our subject dedicated librarian, who many of you have met actually. And I'll continue the conversation then. So Joanna, anything you want to say before I wrap up the call?
Thank you for inviting me. I hope it's been useful. It's great to see the students and to teach responsible use of AI. Any questions you might have, please email me. You can find my email on the library guide. So if you go here to the library guide, ask for help, you can find our emails here and you can email me and I'm very happy to continue the conversation.
Fantastic. All right.